The tale of Naruto Uzumaki is truly special, a story that has changed the way I see the world. It's a story about the bonds we share as people, a story about tragedy and how it shapes us into who we are. I never would have imagined loving this show so much, but here I am 700 episodes later, feeling the emptiness of finishing a show that has almost become a part of me. It challenges the cruelty of the world, proving to everyone that life could be cruel, but that's not the point, because amidst this cruelty is a beacon of hope that helps us hang on through the losses, pain, and hardships. It provides me with the strength to smile back at the world. I've grown to feel warmth at the sight of Konoha and a sense of familiarity towards the characters, and that's because I can relate to each and every one of them. I'm making this video today to say thank you, a love letter to something that's truly special. Naruto begins with the destruction of Konoha, a village that is soon brought together by hatred. They find unity by directing their hatred at the nine-tailed fox. But the nine-tailed fox has disappeared, finding home in Naruto, a young kid who had to endure the pain of being alone, outcasted for just existing. He has to grow up in a village that hates him for something he unwillingly represented, a reminder of an attack that killed so many people. The truth is, Konoha is an ugly place deep inside, with roots that are very rotten. A village where a kid could be shunned for his entire life, or another can slaughter his family in the name of peace. But what's the point of peace if it's soaking in the blood of the innocent? The representation of this darkness was Danzo, a man who fought in the name of peace, under the excuse of doing what had to be done. But the truth is, he did everything for his greed for power. A man that had no issue with pitting siblings against each other, to desensitize and remove what makes them human. It's clear that the Konoha Naruto had to grow up in was in need of fixing. A child shouldn't grow up not knowing the face of his own parents, but Naruto had to go through that. But this is what made him special. The fact that he had every reason to resort to the anger, but he insisted on becoming acknowledged and ridding the village from this darkness himself. On the other side was Sasuke. He saw these bonds he had get torn away one by one in the hands of his own brother. He had to carry the weight of being an Uchiha on his own, a name that brought along hatred and was rooted in darkness. Just like Naruto, Sasuke was completely on his own. But instead of fighting the darkness, he gave into it completely, devoting his life to one goal, and that goal was vengeance. Vengeance was the only path for him, but the truth is, he is blinded by the darkness inside him, because vengeance only makes that emptiness fill your heart even more. It was clear that Naruto and Sasuke were two sides of the same coin. They both understood the meaning of isolation, and each one chose to walk a path that was in response to their pain. Slowly, Naruto started making a family, and in this family he was able to find his strength. People like Iruka, Kakashi, and Jiraiya acknowledged him, and for the first time, he wasn't just a symbol for destruction. Watching Naruto feels so damn good because you get to see him prove people wrong over and over, watching him get stronger and becoming more loved by those around him, those who choose to know him for who he really is. He inspires the people around him to keep pushing. People like Kakashi, Tsunade, Zabuza, Nagato, and Obito. These people regained their hope in the world because Naruto never changed. He is living proof that good still exists. His real power is in the ability to bring people together, in finding the light in the darkest of souls, helping them find redemptions when others deemed them irredeemable. Pain was a man who destroyed his entire village, and robbed him of the closest thing he had to a father. Naruto hated pain and considered his acts unforgivable, yet he still wanted to understand what kind of pain he endured to reach this point. It wasn't just Nagato that he saved, but Obito too. Obito had lost a sense of who he is as he saw his world collapse in front of his eyes. Instead of facing that pain, he turned his back on the world, his friends, and himself. He saw Naruto as a version of him that never lost hope, and Obito that endured the pain and hung onto his dream. And it wasn't until he saw that he could find who he was again. This pain he ran from was the bond he held with Rin, the bond that would have probably made him hold onto his dream even more. Ironically, the two people who destroyed Naruto's life were the same people who were able to pave a path for him to walk on, the path that made Naruto who he is today. However, it didn't matter to him how strong he was, because there was always one person that he couldn't save, the one who wanted to cut their bond for good. Naruto saw as everyone lost hope in Sasuke, yet he still insisted on saving his friend. He kept getting stronger and stronger, enduring so much pain just so he could finally redeem his friend. And it wasn't until these two faced death for the second time could they bring back Team 7. Naruto was a force that brought the world together, the first human to acknowledge the tailed beasts and free them of their enslavement to the idea of being nothing but weapons of destruction. Naruto was the shinobi that endured all the hatred and rid the world of its rotten roots, the succession to Hashirama and Madara's dream, the sole survivor of the Uchiha massacre, a boy burdened with the pain of being an Uchiha. Sasuke was different than Naruto in one thing. At some point, Sasuke had a normal life, and in the span of one night, he saw his entire world gone. He saw Itachi standing over his parents' corpses, and now he had nothing. Even his brother was lost since he was the one who did all of this. On that night, Sasuke understood true loneliness and experienced true hatred. But it wasn't just hatred for Itachi. It was towards this cruel world that left him alive. The world that forced him to shoulder the pain of losing everyone he loved alone. Why him? To avoid this question, he held onto his goal of killing his own brother. But in doing that, he overlooked the family he had made in Konoha. He felt alienated by the fact that nobody understood what he went through, and as he fell deeper into this cycle of hatred, his lust for power grew, and his desire to be alone grew even more. He hated how much he cared about Naruto, how he stood in front of death for him, because Naruto was stopping him from becoming pure hatred, from fully descending into darkness. The person who also understood Sasuke was Kakashi, a man who had faced loss over and over. Losing Sasuke would mean he has failed his comrades again. He said he wouldn't let his comrades die, and letting Sasuke walk down this path was just as bad as letting him die. The thing Kakashi warned Sasuke about was coming true. Sasuke had killed Itachi, but then it wasn't enough. To add salt to the wound, he was faced with the truth of his brother. Suddenly he had realized the answer to his question. He was left alive out of his brother's love. If only he had known. But now he still feels empty, lusting for more. The hatred he once had for Itachi was now for the village, who in his eyes were the reason for all of this. He went after Danzo, the source of Konoha's darkness, and waged war against everyone. But again, it wasn't enough. The bar kept rising, and now he wanted to destroy the place he once called home. The reality behind Sasuke was that he never chose his own path. Unlike Naruto, he was pulled in different directions his whole life. By his brother, who wanted to prepare him for the world by manifesting hatred inside him. He was also getting used by Obito, and it wasn't until Itachi finally let him free that he can figure out what he really wanted. And only the truth would help him find his purpose. He thought the world needed a restart, and in doing that, he had to be the sacrifice that bears all the world's hatred. It wasn't until he looked death in the eye that he could see the truth, that the world he had been wanting to destroy so bad had almost reached its final destination, and all he needed was to be there by his friend's side, so they can finally make the past generation's dream come true. Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju are two brothers who understood each other on a level the others never did. They were just like Sasuke and Naruto, but Madara and Hashirama didn't have a Konoha or a Team 7 to bring them together. Instead, they were faced with a reality, a world that doesn't allow you to connect with another if they don't have the same name as you, a world where children are aimlessly sent to war. Both of them had to experience the loss of their brother, and this was what connected them. They both knew that a world where children were sent to die needed to change. They had a dream of uniting everyone, but they both knew that it wasn't that easy. Even if you were able to join the Uchiha and Senju in one village, the bonds that kept Hashirama and Madara were still there. Even if Hashirama was willing to kill himself for the sake of a better future, Madara knew that those to come after him weren't gonna be the same. Madara came to believe that this world wasn't going to change, and that's why he left in search of an escape from this cruel world. His dream of creating his own reality, of a world without pain. In the end, Madara realized that this world he wanted to make meant nothing, because dreams don't mean anything. The pain he resented is what made this world special, and if you remove this pain, you will just forget what people meant to you. And he realized this as he lied beside his best friend. It was exactly as Tobirama had said, that there was no other clan that experienced deep love like the Uchiha. The truth is, Naruto wasn't Hashirama, and Sasuke wasn't Madara. Not because they were any better, but it was because Madara and Hashirama had laid the stepping stones for the next generation to break the cycle. Naruto is a story that represents so much. A story about sacrifice, determination, love, hatred, loss, and trust. It's a story that has taught me so much and has changed the way I see the world. I have grown to love this world, and I'm truly thankful to have experienced something like this. I don't think that anything will match this experience for me, from the music to the animation to the world building, and that's why in the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to each and every person that worked to bring this world to life. Thank you for sticking this far. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel even more, you could subscribe or like this video. See you in the next one.